Today I fucked up by pranking my son and scarring him for life. I feel like I'm a pretty cool dad. I wouldn't say I'm anything special, but I'm super easygoing, supportive, and encouraging towards my teen boys. For the last few years, Josh, my youngest son now 14, has been playing pranks and jokes on me and editing the videos and my responses to show his friends. He's even put some on YouTube, but they've never really taken off to the extent that he had hoped. Everything has been fairly harmless, and I've never had an issue being the brunt of his pranks. I have, though, been secretly plotting my revenge. About 6 months ago, I contacted a TV network in my home country, which put me in touch with the producers of a popular prank show aimed at kids. After much back and forth and a few telephone calls, the producers agreed that they would help me take my revenge on Josh in an elaborate to-be-broadcasted prank that would see him finally as the protagonist. My eldest boy, Blake, 15, was in on the prank and was to play a part alongside some actors that the show was going to provide. 2 days ago, one day before the intended prank, while Josh was staying at a friend's house, the TV producers and crew came to my house to set up all of their equipment, hidden cameras, and props for what was to be a home haunting special for their Halloween broadcast. The episode will never be broadcast. Both Josh and his friend, who was also not in on the intended prank, came home none the wiser and spent the early afternoon on the Xbox in his room. As prank time approached, I made the excuse of having to go and pick up some takeaway, and it was during the time that the haunting was due to take place. I drove my car to the next street, pulled up, and was invited into the makeshift producer's gallery in a temporary building on a neighbor's property. Immediately, the crew sprang into action, rolling their cameras and coordinating their actors, my other son Blake, and their crew on the radios. I was paying attention to the presenter, who was being filmed alongside me, observing the prank that was about to unfold, when all of a sudden I heard the words "terminate, terminate, terminate" scream from the seat beside me. I thought this was part of the show and giggled with delight as I took my attention off the presenter and faced the camera monitors next to me to watch the prank begin. To my absolute shock, the hidden cameras at home were showing my son and his friend engaged in oral sex. I froze up for a moment and processed what was going on and ran back to the house, where I was forced to intervene and tell Josh everything that was happening. I've never seen my kid so absolutely horrified in his life. He went pale, vomited everywhere, and cried uncontrollably for about 2 hours. His friend was equally distraught, and I'd done my best to keep them as calm as possible while I tried to work out what to do. I'm not sure that I have done the right thing. Oh, so you do pick up after yourself and I'm just exaggerating? Let's give every man for himself a try then. Years ago, when I just moved in with my then boyfriend, now fiancé, he was terrible at picking up after himself. He was a self-admitted mama's boy and went directly from his parents' house to our shared home. Barely 3 weeks in, I was fed up, so when I told him that I was tired of picking up after him and acting as his maid, he hit me with, "That's not true, we both clean up equally." After a bit of back and forth, he said, "Well, if you don't believe me, then let's split the house, you take care of your half and I take care of mine." I took that literally. Got painter's tape, divided every single room in half, including the kitchen counter, the inside of the fridge, the bathroom counter. And he was cocky and suggested 2 months. I shortened it to 1. Not even a week in, his half looked like a pigsty, and he had no more food because I stopped grocery shopping and cooking for him. The only exception I made was cleaning the toilet and shower because I was not able to use a filthy bathroom to make a point. He brought me flowers and chocolate, apologized for his behavior, and started learning how to be an adult. We are 8 years into this relationship, and he is an amazing man. We are about to get married. Raccoon scare gone wrong. God, I cannot believe this is happening to me at this age. I, 19 female, just woke up at around 2 a.m. and had to use the washroom. This is actually kind of routine for me, as I've always had to go to the bathroom at least once or twice during the night. However, my simple task wasn't so simple tonight. Now I should give you the layout of my home. My boyfriend and I live in a small studio cabin. It has a compost toilet and a little kitchenette with a big sink, and the cat litter box is right beside it. So on with the story. I got out of bed and put on my hoodie to head outside so I could go into the main house on the property to use the washroom. However, since the outside light is motion activated, I didn't see the 3 raccoons right in front of my door. I've already had one bad experience with the raccoon on my front porch in front of the door and it being aggressive when I opened it. So when I saw the raccoons, I instantly freaked out and backed up into the house. The raccoons were eating the food out of the small green bin we keep outside because it smells bad, and they weren't leaving. And apparently I had to pee really bad. I had 10 seconds before I could no longer hold it in. I tried to hop on top of the sink, but I was too short and couldn't get up without waking up my boyfriend. The 10 seconds passed and I couldn't hold it in any longer. So I tried to go over to the cat box because that would be better than just pissing myself. But I missed and got piss all over the floor and around the box. My boyfriend hadn't woken up, so I panicked and grabbed 2 towels and cleaned up all the piss, took a sponge and cleaned the floor and litter mat that also got pee in it, all the while covered in piss myself. Once I was done, the raccoons of course left, so I took off the pee-soaked underwear and clothes, put on a new large shirt, and went inside to take a shower. I'm now laying in bed writing this, hoping to dear God my boyfriend never finds out. I can't believe this happened to me. The embarrassment is infinite.
My dead girlfriend keeps messaging me on Facebook. I've got the screenshots. I don't know what to do. My girlfriend died on the 7th of August, 2012. She was involved in a 3-car collision driving home from work when someone ran a red light. She passed away within minutes on the scene. We had been dating for 5 years at that point. She wasn't big on the idea of marriage. It felt archaic, she said. Gave her a weird vibe. But if she had been, I would have married her within 3 months of our relationship. M had been dead for approaching 13 months when she first messaged me. September 4th, 2013. This is when it began. I'd left Emily's Facebook account activated so I could send her the occasional message. I share access with her mother. After a little confusion, I assumed it was her. I had received confirmation from Susan that she hadn't logged on to Emily's Facebook since the week of her death. Em knew a lot of people, so I instantly assumed it was one of her more tech-savvy friends fucking with me in the worst way possible. I noticed pretty much immediately whoever was chatting with me was recycling old messages from Emily and my shared chat history. On March 15th, I sent what I assumed was Em's hacker a message. Why are you doing this? Why do you keep tagging her? On March 25th, an answer. Hello, 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 Nathan, which is him. This is actually devastating. I don't know why you enjoy doing this. Oh my God, cinnamon scented candles.
Oh my God.
Nathan, go to hell. Emily, why are you doing this? It wasn't until I was going over these logs a few months later that I noticed she was recycling my own words as well. Before anyone asked, yes, I changed the password and all security info countless times.
Oh my gosh.
16th of April, I received this. We should make our own jam. Jesus fucking Christ, Samantha. Nah, different. No chance of passing. No chance of passing. How many ? Garage side door? No chance of passing. I hadn't discovered any leads. Facebook had told me the locations her page had been accessed from since her death. They're all places I can account for. My home, my work, her mom's house, etc. 8th of May. I don't really have words for this. -12, -15. My jumper's in the dryer and it's really cold out. Really cold out. Cold, cold. Please stop. Freezing. I don't know what's happening.
I don't like this. It's getting so much weirder.
Freezing is the first original word she's made.
As in it's not from previous conversations?
Yeah, it seems that way. Going back in time, 7th of August, 2012. These are logs from the day she died. This, alongside a couple of voice messages, is the last time I talked to her under the assumption that she was still alive. You'll see why I'm showing you these soon. She was usually home from work by 4:30. Hey, you on your way home? When you see this message, please ring me. Straight away. I rang blank and they said you left at 4. I'm starting to panic. I feel sick in my stomach. Please, please ring me. Emily, answer your phone. Yesterday, 1st of July, 2014. Until today, she'd been quiet. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what's happening. I just heard a Facebook alert. I'm too afraid to swap windows and check it. Hey, you on your way home? When you see this message, please ring me. I rang blank and they said you left at 5. I'm starting to panic. Please stop. Emily, Emily, I don't know what's happening. Freezing.
Oh God, that's Emily all
Emily.
I'm an asshole for telling my kid's babysitter that it was inappropriate for her to shower in my home. I hired a babysitter for my 5 and 3-year-old about 2 weeks ago, and my husband works shifts while I'm working long hours at a marketing company. So far, we had no issues till yesterday. I came home around 6 p.m. and noticed the babysitter's wet hair and new clothes. She told me she took a shower after one of the kids spilled milk on her. I was very confused and visibly upset, but she tried to reassure me that the kids were fine because my husband watched them while she took her shower, which only lasted a few minutes. I was more confused that my husband was home when he said he had to cover a shift. I told her I didn't think it was appropriate of her to shower in my home like that. She argued that it was fine since she had no choice and couldn't leave the milk on her like that. We argued and my husband heard the commotion and got involved. He said it was not as big a deal as I was making it out to be. And I said I didn't appreciate how she basically ignored how I felt about this and dismissed it. She went home and we still argued on the phone. She thinks she did nothing wrong, thinks I was unfair, especially after mentioning I'm potentially cutting her salary after that. Husband thinks I'm overreacting about the poor girl. So am I the asshole here?